I got this message this morning. I want you to take a look at it. It's from the tenant who's behind on his rent. And so here are the messages from the last 2 days. You see the first message at the top here. It says, wrapping up a call with my Army recruiter. So this is a 30-year-old guy, and he's looking to join the Army. So here he is saying this morning, 6:05, I have to call you back after I take the ASVAB. I won't have my phone on base now starting shortly. So here we have a 30-year-old man. If you can go back and listen to the conversation that I had with him when I tried to give him a little advice on how to resolve conflicts, he had no idea. He had never been told these things. And so now at 30, he's headed into the military, into the arms of the government to hopefully they can instill these things in him. It just really makes you wonder the quality of the American military if people like him are able to join. It's kind of like the McNamara's Follies or Morons all over again. Once again, thank you for joining. I am John Galt, the urban landlord there. A white man assaulted a white woman in New York City near NYU. Here's a video of her talking about this.
So I just watched the footage of my assault, and I'm gonna say it's definitely violent. Thank you so much, my best friend Summer, for literally going to the liquor store where it happened in front of and getting the surveillance footage of the assault. Like, I'm shocked I even got that. I have sent it to NYU security, and they're forwarding it to the police, and it actually is the guy that has been assaulting many girls around campus right now. He is a tall white male with long brunette hair and a long brunette beard, and is wearing gray sweatpants and a big black puffer jacket and a blue towel around his neck. So if you see him, please call 911 and report him to the police, because they are looking for him, because he has done this to so many girls, and this is like disgusting. So I'm just gonna say, like, trigger warning, because like it's honestly a really hard watch. Like, just I mean for me, just because it like happened to me, but like just like watch if you're interested, but like it's definitely not cute. So this is right before it all happened. So I circled where I'm walking. I just crossed the street and I'm walking down the right side of Broadway, and then you can see that he literally followed me across the street, and that's him right there, and he literally targets me and approaches me and
You can see the man coming up here,
does this.
and you see him smack her on the behind her.
You can tell literally everyone around is literally in shock. These girls like don't know what to do. It's so terrible. And then they thankfully helped me up and asked if I was okay. And then you can see the man was asking if I was okay. And then,
you know, one of the things that just came to mind here is that if this were in a black neighborhood, people would be taking pictures, filming, laughing, eking, and but in this case, this looked like some Asian girls came right up to her to assist her. Very interesting.
Later on, he helps me call the police.
So they called the police too there. Anyways, it is very interesting. I
emphasize how not okay this is. I am a student at NYU. I should not be scared to be walking the street to go to my 9:30 a.m. class. These people are disgusting, and they should not be able to be walking around the street freely, targeting girls and doing this, because I heard that this guy did this a month ago. That is not okay. We need to get these people. That's not okay. I'm honestly still in shock, but I'm more enraged that things like this are able to happen in this city, and we really need to do something about it, because this is unacceptable. This just shows that you really need to reflect on who you're voting for and supporting right now, because New York needs help, and we're just not getting the help we need, and this is crazy.
I wonder who she voted for. And here is the man that slapped her on the behind.
James, what's wrong with you?
What happened on the sidewalk, James? James, what happened on the sidewalk?
James, help us understand. Why do you keep attacking women?
What were you doing inside that apartment?
What's wrong with you, James? James, anything you want to say to your victims? James, anything you want to say?
clearly I'm not making light of what this guy is being accused of, but it could have been worse. She could have suffered the fate of the lady, the Iranian lady down in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she was stabbed to death. But in this case, we have a white man who's running around smacking women on the behind. And I think it just kind of shows you, from the reaction of the women that were there to the nature of his crime, that white people and black people would react very differently to these things, from the perpetrators to the people assisting the victims. The next video I want to share with you, the next thing on Twitter I want to share with you. I saw this video by Shaquille O'Neal, very interesting. And it just kind of shows you like where blacks put their interests, their energies, and I think part of it's due to their IQ and stuff like that. And I'll see if I can find that video. It was Shaquille O'Neal. He was talking about what his son is going to do with his money. He's going to take it out and invest in it and stuff like that. The new generation, the next wave. Shaquille O'Neal is getting up in age, so it's time for the next generation to step up. So here's Shaquille O'Neal talking about his plans with his son and his companies.
My son is taking over now because I was, my shit was kind of old, and he said, "Dad, let me create something for the YNs." I didn't even know what YNs are.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's the YN?" He was like, "Don't worry about it." So
he was like Youth Nationals.
So a lot of these are his designs.
And so I think what he's pointing to are shoes. So he's saying a lot of the designs of the shoes that one of his sons created, were created for the YNs, and this is the market for blacks. Hey, you cater to the market, and his son saw a market catering to YNs, and Shaq bought into it.
So,
amazing.
Yeah. So we're doing.
Shout out Sharif.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sharif, the other tall shadow walking around here. Sharif is doing a fantastic job because I just think that creatively what he is bringing to the brand is just, it's going to touch a whole new demographic. And
Yeah, right. He's going to touch the YN demographic. That's true.
You always gotta keep creating so that you keep moving. You know what I'm saying?
And there's Shaquille O'Neal talking about his son creating something for the YN generation. These people, they have very little creativity, and it shows in what they constantly keep creating over and over and over again. Different designs of Chinese plastic shoes, and that's kind of how that works. We were talking about the Crown Act the other day on this channel, and I saw a video, and I'll share this video with you. It was a lady, she's putting on a wig, and to be honest with you, she looked worse with a damn wig on than without the wig. So take a look at this lady here, she's putting her wig on, and so this is her natural hair, presumably. Not an attractive woman, the big tattoo on her chest. Nonetheless, watch when she puts the wig on her. I mean, she's already got a frown on her face. You're gonna see her do the little sassy thing with her head at some point. There it is, right there. Every black person knows that look right there. Let's do it again, sister girl. Do it again. Oh, these black people, if nothing else, they give you a lot of comedy. She went from bad to worse. But, I think what's worse than, her putting the wig on, and you're going to see that next here is she asked someone, "Is this all right?" And the people started advising her on how to make it look a little better. You see,
real cute friend. Put it down a little bit in the front, like right here. Let me see. Perfect. Right. Baby hair slang.
It's baby hair slang. I mean, these people really, they're down in the beauty hole. I've seen so many women look like this. I didn't know this is the extent of what it takes. They now wear braid wigs. Amazing. Crown Act. Couldn't come soon enough. Jesus Christ, that thing just moved. Hello here.
And then move the trophy right here. Perfect.
And you know, I just wonder how she goes about her day looking like that. She can't feel happy with her looks, but she has to maintain this whole ego, this persona that she's a very attractive woman, but she's clearly not very attractive, and the wig doesn't do her any favors there. Anyway, the next story. The next thing I want to talk about is something near and dear to my heart. It's probably one I'll delve a little bit deeper into as we go along. This is coming out of Minnesota, all the fraud. You've probably been hearing Trump speak about the fraud and preventing some of these people from coming here. Well, here's a handyman out of Minnesota, and he's talking about how he's noticed that a lot of these Section 8 Somalis in Minnesota have nice fancy cars. Take a look, and then I'll see if I can give you an explanation for what's going on.
I'm from Minneapolis, and Somalians are just part of the culture here. As far back as I can remember, I've always seen Somalians. And in these past 5 years, the population increased so much. It went from seeing them to them feeling like the majority a lot of places that I go. And also, over the past few years, I've noticed that I see a lot of them with new cars. So I'm a handyman, and I worked on a lot of Section 8 housing to make sure they're up to standard. And one thing I've noticed when I go to these Section 8 houses, one, it's usually a Somali family. And what I mean usually...
And so one of the things he's saying here, you can deduce from this, is that if it's a Somali family that's a Section 8 voucher holder, then it's probably a Somali homeowner who's renting to the Somalis. That's how that works.
Usually it's 9 times out of 10. And those houses usually have new cars in the front. I mean...
Well, one of the things that allows them to have new cars, we discussed that yesterday, they may be driving Uber. Many of them are driving Uber. And Enterprise and Avis allow them to rent cars. It's a very expensive price, but they are allowed to rent cars. And hell, if they're living for free, then, well, the car note is just one component of doing business. They have no rent because they're living on Section 8.
Cars with an S, multiple new cars. And what I mean usually is like 8 out of 10 Somali houses I've seen that. And I always wondered how someone on Section 8 can afford multiple new cars.
And you know, it's very interesting. I've been in Section 8 for a very long time, and very few of the Section 8 tenants that I can remember even had cars. Definitely not nice cars, but here the Somalis are, and I've talked about this many, many times here, is that Section 8 games can easily be played if you have a good relationship with the landlord. If the landlord and the tenant has a good relationship, particularly if they are familial, they have some kind of bloodline there, where they can trust each other, then they can really take advantage of the Section 8 guidelines, because if the homeowner could own a business and he could hire the person off the books that lives in his property on Section 8, and then he has the best, they both have the best of both worlds, off the books income, overinflated Section 8 rent payments, because that person will not have any income on the books.
I just couldn't put it together. So now finding out about this fraud stuff makes so much sense.
Yeah, he just now figuring it out. These people slowing the uptake here.
And you know who I feel bad for other than me for paying for that shit with my
Now watch what he says here. He's totally ignorant.
taxes? Is Somalians who came here.
See, there you go. You feel sorry for the Somalis, but I bet you they do not feel sorry for the Black Americans and the other Americans who were pushed to the back of the line because of the Somalis. See, this is what this is the other side of the coin that he doesn't get. And a lot of these blacks don't get their IQ just is not high enough for them to see the unseen. He can see the Somalis, but he can't see the blacks who and the other Americans who did not even get a chance to partake in this program because they were leapfrogged by the Somalis who shouldn't even be here in this country. And, oh, by the way, they were committing fraud.
On the up and up and who didn't break the law. Because as a black man, I know how it feels to be judged because someone else with your same skin color did some stupid shit that you wouldn't approve of. I'm not a Republican.
So, and by this logic, I would have guessed that he would not want us to judge the Somalis by the stupid things that seemingly 8 out of the 10 Somalis whose homes he went into were engaged in. See, this is the kind of cognitive dissonance that the blacks have to engage in, because he can see some of his black behavior or the black behavior of the other blacks around him that's very similar to the Somalis. But his blacks, unfortunately, are too damn stupid to be as successful as the Somalis.
Or a Democrat. But one thing I do know is I've been saying for years we need to kick Tim Walsh out.
You want to kick Tim Walsh out, but not the Somalis. See, this is the low IQ nature of blacks, where they can't effectively identify what the problem is. And so he says, we need to kick Tim Walsh out and leave the Somalis there, so you continue to have the fraud under a different name here. See, low IQ on full display here. I guess continuing on the theme of this low IQ, low vibrational behavior of the black Americans, I saw I guess it was John Morant's father walking into a basketball game. I didn't even know his father. I don't watch basketball. And so he looked like a young man. I thought it was maybe John Morant's brother or something like that. And then when I see the video, I literally could not believe it. And so here's John Morant's father, totally unbelievable when you see this. This is John Morant's father. And when you see this this video, you kind of understand why the young man is having so much trouble. Because, again, this is his father at a basketball game. I guess it's his son's basketball game. And this is the behavior of the father there. And the white people probably looking like, what in the world? What in the world? Shaquille O'Neal's son is creating products for this man's son. And hell, he might be creating products for this man too. And you can see the other blacks up there giggling, and the white people are just probably just amused to no end to see probably a 35, I don't know how old this man is, 45-year-old YN. But they love the attention. I've never understood it. And they seek the attention in some of the most interesting ways. And here he is, and I'm sure he's seeking attention. But I mean, he looks like a young YN. And you can see that the white people are paying him no attention. I mean, this woman is not even paying him attention. I'm assuming he's probably doing it for her. This is a millionaire, black millionaire's father, behaving like a 21-year-old YN or, hell, a 50-year-old Jim Jones. And I don't know what he's grabbing for. This one of these dances that the blacks do. That's just low IQ behavior again on full display. The seeking of attention, and the other low IQ blacks, you can see in the background that they find it amusing. And this is why this behavior is able to propagate throughout the community, because, again, look at the grinning Joker-like blacks in the back. I'm not sure if you can see them. Let me see if I can maximize the screen. But if you look at the Joker-like grin on the blacks in the back, you see that there really is just there's no check for this type of behavior. And you'll see the blacks back there, two blacks, they find what he's doing also amusing. And again, this is a 50, man, I'm assuming he's a 50-year-old man. And assuming he had the boy at 25, and I guess the boy is 25. Anyway, just again, the low IQ nature of the blacks on display in public, no less, at his son's workplace, no less, and this is how they behave. Has anyone heard about that, the killing in, was it Stockton, California? I was looking at the killing, and I thought it was mostly Hispanics involved, but apparently there were some blacks involved in the killing as well. And here's the video of the blacks involved in some of the victims, apparently.
I have an image of my son dying in my head over and over and over and over. Then him smiling, then him walking away, then him smiling, then he coming, like, I just keep seeing.
I think I heard the smoke detector beep.
My son in my head. Oh my God, he took my baby.
Painful images Patrick Peterson is now stuck replaying of his 14-year-old son, Amari, who was shot to death while at a child's birthday party.
You know, his nickname was Ferrari Mari.
Ferrari
That was my nickname for him.
Nicknames, birthday parties, football, basketball. These are their loves.
Yeah, he was really fast.
Images, unlike the hundreds he has of Amari, smiling, hung on the walls of his home. Countless memories he's now holding close.
Maybe I should have just dove in front of the bullets and maybe
Maybe you should have. I mean, your life don't look like it's pretty much over. Arrested Development. Maybe you should have given this boy a shot.
still be alive.
When bullets started flying, Peterson says it felt unreal. He grabbed his baby girl to duck behind a kitchen counter and then rushed to Amari when he saw he was down.
I'm on top of him.
Look at all them bullets these blacks are shooting at each other.
Sorry, I'm trying to grab him. I'm like trying to see where he's hit because he's just sitting there just going.
You know, this was some more bullshit about this is that this same black would be in a Black Love, Black Lives Matter protest while they shoot at each other with one hand. They got the black power fist up with the other.
I'm just like, man, I'm like, where you hit at? Where you hit at?
He discovered a bullet hole the size of a nickel on Amari's chest. Despite being rushed to the hospital in life-saving efforts, Amari didn't make it, leaving Peterson, his wife, and other children.
It's a married Negro. See, marriage doesn't work for these blacks, I'm telling you. Just like I'm starting to agree with the woman that we interviewed on the stream.
Who were there too, heartbroken.
My daughter, she got hit. I could have lost her, you know, and she it's gonna change her for life. My son, it's gonna change him for life.
You're like some little half black, half Hispanic kids.
Peterson says he lost the boy who made him the man he is today.
I was his coach.
Building Amari a life that he never had.
It's a football, sports life. Reliving his childhood dreams through the boy playing football, childhood dreams there. Fields of glory.
He got straight A's. He was a good student. He was a good team player. He was athletic.
Do you have any words for whoever is responsible for all of this?
Well, whose birthday party was it? How old was the child turning? Yeah, no one ever asked these questions. Why did you take the child to a gang member's house, gang territory, whatever the hell? None of these questions.
If you have enough sense to pick up a gun and aim and shoot it, you got enough sense to take your responsibility of your actions.
A senseless act that left 2 other children and a 21-year-old dead.
This was one of the shoes that he had on.
That's Jesus Christ. He got the shoe. No way. This can't be real life. He's showing us the Chinese plastic shoes.
Their children and a 21-year-old dead.
This was one of the shoes that he had on the night.
Like memories. These were the Jumpmans or whatever the hell he was wearing when he got shot down.
That is on there.
And a father searching for peace with parting words to his golden boy.
Father probably remember how he copped them shoes.
And daddy is sorry, and daddy love you, and daddy miss you.
But daddy went about to jump in front of the bullets.
Daddy ain't gonna never do that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no more of this. Daddy love you. Daddy love you. All that crying after the fight, after the shooting is done. And daddy love you. And daddy love you. Oh man, this is a funny video. The blacks show no end to their creativity to steal and break laws and rules. Here's a classic example. They'll grow their hair for this.
This is how to smuggle a bottle into the club. Shh, don't tell nobody. You're gonna need 3 items. Your bottle of choice, a wig cap, like dark, preferably black, but we don't have one. And then we got about 6 to 9 scrunchies. Subject of choice.
It's barely a man, barely a woman. In between here, the black women are kind of morphing into half man, half woman. But you know what's most interesting again about this, and this is the nature of blacks and what they want, what they probably don't even notice, is that blacks have a nature to thieve and steal. Sharon Braces said it. He said blacks are scammers and thieves. And so here we have a black woman giving a demonstration of how to scam and steal and thieve and get around rules. And so she's going to go through this whole production of how to get a bottle of Patron or tequila into a club, a nightclub that could get that establishment closed down. If these women are underage and they slip into the club and then they're drinking, they're not going to say they slipped the bottle in the club. They're going to say they served us drinks. And they sue the club. I've seen it happen before. And so here are the blacks putting their minds and energies into figuring out how to break rules. This is who they are, ladies and gentlemen.
First, cover your bottle. Now you're going to make sure that you put the bottle in the center of their head. And you're going to start from the sides and just create a ponytail, essentially. Turn, babe. Turn. You see, I'm
What we're
just
saying is black inventors at work here. Black inventors, blacks invent things to usurp rules and laws.
in here and holding it in place. This is how it should look. So now you're going to start from the lowest part and you're going to add 2 scrunchies. Okay, so this is how it looked with the first 2 scrunchies. Now pretty much you're going to mold it so it looks less cone heady. And then we're going to show you the end result. Okay, once you're done, we're going to do a flash test. 360, 360, 360, 360, 360, 360, 360. And now you are in the club.
And see, this is what you have to deal with blacks and doing business with blacks. This is what they do. They come up with all kind of ways to scheme and scam, and business owners and people that deal with them have to come up with countermeasures, and it just costs money and time to deal with blacks that do these type of things. This is a club I used to go to here in Washington, D.C. It was 20 years ago, maybe. It was Dream Nightclub. A black girl slipped in the club. I don't know how she got in. Probably fake ID. She got drunk, and then she left the club, and she hit a police officer on the side of the road. I think it was State Trooper, Maryland State Trooper, and killed him. And it all came back to the club, like, hey, this club, this woman was at this club. She ran over a police officer, and the club was ultimately liable for her actions. They suffered some consequences in terms of, liquor license, whatever the case may be. I did not know that Stockton, California had a black mayor. Stockton, California is where the shooting at the birthday party happened. And so to find out that they have a black mayor, that's surprising. And so here is the black mayor. He's speaking on the actual shooting that happened in Stockton.
Never been gangster to kill kids.
Never been gangster to kill kids. It's gangster to kill adults. Nothing wrong with that. But kids, can't do that.
Right. Never been gangster to kill kids. You went in a birthday party and shot people's children. Mm-hmm. So I know we're here. We want just.
They also shot adults. Was that gangster? Was that okay? See, this is the low IQ nature of the blacks, and they just talking a lot of times, and it doesn't really fit mainstream society. It fits the ghetto. This is how you go talk to a black environment. I guess in this case, maybe the Hispanics speak this way. But you can't move up into mainstream politics where you could be talking to whites like this. It's never gangster to kill kids, because the implication is that it's gangster to kill adults, and that's okay.
If I could just, parents brought their children out and they left with medical examiners. That is not human.
What is it? Is it inhuman? Is it inhumane?
It's not human. And I will say to those who are thinking of retaliation, when my brother got murdered, I thought about it too.
So his brother was... a party of victims here. So we have a party of victims.
It's human to want to hurt people who hurt people you love.
Okay.
But I had a choice to make.
So it's possible that these people hurt someone and hurt them.
And I hope that the people out there in our community make the right choice and contact law enforcement, call me, call the mayor, call whoever you know, call the pastors, call your friend, turn yourself in. Because at some point, the redemption for what you did is going to happen when you see the person that created you. But you can start that process by turning yourself in.
These people speaking platitudes to absolute gangsters and criminals, I don't think that works. You're going to have to bring down the hammer on these people. So that is that. One of the things that I've been covering here is the quarterback play. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard about Justin Fields. Justin Fields was asked to be do a little bit more running by his team. The team says, hey, man, you're not that great at passing the ball. They benched him, I think. Yeah, they benched him, and he says, they said, can you run the ball for us a little bit? And him showing his me first personality, he refused to do it, apparently. And so that shall be interesting to see how that all works out. If he's now demoted to the third string, it seemed it would be the proper direction for him, which is interesting. Again, he is a black coach. Typically, the black coaches aren't good at molding quarterbacks. I don't think we've had an example of that yet, of working very well with quarterbacks, and this would be another high-profile case of it not working out at all. And the other issue, I think, is who's the other? There's another black quarterback that's performing poorly. We'll probably get to it at some point in this segment. Anyway, moving right along to some of the other things I saw on Twitter. Well, I'll cover Jalen Hurts right now. Since we're on quarterbacks, here's Jalen Hurts. And here's someone talking about Jalen Hurts.
Thoughts on this, as it seems like, according to two different reporters, Hurts has made it somewhat known to them or clear to them he doesn't want to run as much anymore, and that's why they're not running him as much.
If that's true, then, Jalen lied to us. I mean, he lied to us. Because he said, and I quote, I don't care what it looks like as long as we win.
Yeah.
And if that's the truth, if that's what is going on, then you do care what it looks like. And you don't care about winning as much as you've claimed that you did. I mean, that's the bottom line. And for all y'all that don't understand what that sounds like or feels like, you can kiss my ass, because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly.
Again, this is the me first. Me. Main character syndrome coming out here. He's not willing to do what it takes for the team to win. And so this guy's saying, well, if that's the case, then you lied to us.
What was said, unlike most of y'all, and I'm attacking the folks that you people, I listen to what's being said in the press conferences, not just what's being talked about on the field or what's happening on the field. And Jalen made it clear that he didn't care what his stats looked like as long as they won football games. Mm-hmm. Now, as much as this offense has been reeling, as much as this offense has not been in tune, if that's what the coaches feel that is going to help get it going, okay, I'm not saying it's all on you, but what's the problem? Why are we not doing that? Especially when you've made it crystal clear that you care about nothing but winning football games. Why is that beast not in your repertoire? Why are we not doing that? So I don't know what the answer is. Maybe some of y'all that talk about I don't defend him well enough, maybe you could tell me.
I think part of what it is that he sees that the winning quarterbacks do not have to run. Blacks are very much desirous to win like the white quarterbacks, which they should, because that's the way to the Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts can't do that very well. There are clips of him not being able to pass the ball, things like that, missing wide open receivers. And so now the team is saying, hey, man, if you can't throw the ball that well, maybe we can get something out of you with your running. And apparently he's refusing to do that. And so that is the issue that him and Justin Fields are facing the same issues there, where they're being asked to use their legs, not their arms, and their head, their intellect to help win games. Speaking of New York and the lady that was attacked, and she mentioned something very interesting. She said, you have to be concerned about who you vote for. That's very important, and I don't disagree with that. I guess it matters, particularly at the local level. Here's what's going on in New York as it relates to the ICE protests. It seems they are harboring criminals in their jails to ward off ICE from deporting them.
Of justice. We're seeing that these criminal illegal aliens are exiting the jails and going back onto New York or Chicago or these other sanctuary streets to re-perpetuate their crimes. Today, in New York City's jails are 7,169 criminal illegal aliens. We're talking about hundreds of murders, hundreds of sexual predators, drug traffickers, the worst of the worst. Dan Goldman and these other sanctuary city politicians, they should agree to hand over those individuals, honor those detainers, and then we won't have to flood the zone with our ICE law enforcement. We won't have to put those men and women on the ground because we will get these vicious criminals out of New York City's jails.
Yeah, it's really crazy what you're seeing on the streets in New York.
Right. It's war of justice. We're seeing that these criminal illegal aliens.
Yeah, it's really crazy to see that New York City apparently is siding with the criminals over deporting them, and in that sense, they are siding with the criminals over their own residents, and that is very interesting. I think the people didn't vote for this, but they're getting it in spades. And I was talking to my lovely lady Lisa last night, and she was saying we were talking about the whole should we send the people back? Yay, nay, I don't know. And I was saying, the thing is that it's so complicated that once you start bringing them here, there's so many problems that arise from downstream. For instance, the Uber car rentals. You see people now driving Uber, spending an exorbitant amount of money for Uber, and it drives up the price of cars. I told her about, I was on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, Fulton and Bedford, and I was standing in front of a mosque with a lady friend of mine, and the Muslims came out and told her that she couldn't stand in front of the mosque door. I used to live on Putnam and Putnam and Franklin, between Franklin and Bedford in Brooklyn. I used to hear the call to prayer 5 times a day outside my apartment, right in the back of my apartment. And so these are the types of things that also come along with immigration. They're not breaking the law. They may be breaking customs and traditions, but it's not the law. And this comes along with immigration. So either you get rid of all of them, or you're going to deal with the issues that come with having them in your country. And again, how do you pick and choose which ones are legal, which ones aren't? Then you have the whole H-1B thing. There are a lot of other issues downstream that has nothing to do with the criminality aspect of it. And here's one very, very interesting aspect of it, and it's something that I've mentioned on the channel many, many times, and it's the cheating by the Indians to get jobs in corporate America.
Technical design, and in some cases I am working on it with the team members who are reporting to me.
Okay. So have you worked on any triggers in your experience?
Yes.
And triggers are a database, as they say they are. Triggers are something that's, you just think about it, it's a trigger. So if you insert a record to a database, you could have a trigger. I think it's how that works. A trigger can be attached to it to maybe execute another function. So the interviewer here is asking the guy if he's familiar with triggers.
I'm using triggers, but using a trigger, so I'm just analyzing how trigger.
Man, you're hold on.
So clearly this guy doesn't know what a trigger is. Triggers are used in databases, by the way.
Not achievable. I'm going with the trigger, and we use the many events in trigger, like before, after.
Hold on. I think.
And one of the things you probably are noticing here, you probably barely can understand what he's saying, and that is the biggest issue again. And one of the bigger issues when you bring in a bunch of diversity, you have a hard time figuring out what the hell they're saying. So you imagine working with this guy.
It's not you who is speaking. I mean, someone is speaking. Someone else is speaking here. And
someone else is speaking.
You're just lip syncing. I can also hear your voice, the candidate who is sitting right in front of me. I got you. I mean, it's not the right way, man. I already told you that it's not the position that someone comes and gives you a task and you're gonna deliver it. It's a very senior level position where you need to manage the entire instance. I'm sorry, you're not going to continue this interview process. And going forward, I suggest you not to take like this. I mean, you need to be very formal and also at least practice before you take the interview, taking these kind of things. It's I clearly caught you. You know.
And see, this is the thing. And he's not chastising him. He's saying, hey, you need to get better at doing this. If you're going to scam the system, you need to practice. Practice isn't what I did. I had experience. Experience, I guess, was my practice. And what you're hearing here is one of the bigger problems in software, in my opinion, when dealing with these type of people, and that they are very well practiced, but they have very little experience and any understanding of how to apply what they've practiced. They have no game experience. I guess that's one way of putting it there.
The other guy is talking, and you're also speaking in a very low voice, syncing up your lip.
Right, and that is the other thing is that they do speak in very low voices, and it very well could be that they speak in low voices, timid voices, because they don't know what they're talking about. And this is a classic example.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Thank you.
And, I'm not surprised he didn't get the interview. I guess I'm a little surprised of how much the guy coached him on how to game the process the next time. So that is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And moving on to the next article. The next article I'm going to cover is the... Prince George's County oftentimes get referred to as the richest black county in America. That's typically what you hear when someone referred to it. It's right outside of Washington, D.C., and they have recently reopened their housing choice voucher program, and that's very interesting. They're a wealthy county, and they have quite a waiting list. And here's some reporting on that waiting list.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me I don't have to spend countless hours consolidating our company's financial data anymore? It's all.
Well, tonight we are tracking the overwhelming response to Prince George's County's housing voucher program. The wait list opened today for the first time in 10 years, and the Housing Authority says thousands of people applied. Our Randy Hildreth has been digging into the new numbers and the urgent need for affordable housing. Randy.
Yeah, good evening to you. Leading up to today, we knew that the need was going to be great. So many of you were clicking on our story on our Facebook page and on our website and reaching out with questions. And even county leaders agree that what they saw today, the number of people applying, really put the need in perspective. Prince George's County received 3 times more applications than slots available on the first day the housing voucher program opened. Shocking, but not surprising to housing authority leaders.
We receive the calls on a daily basis. We receive those coming into our office asking for assistance. And so it's unfortunate we don't have enough to fit all of the demand. But we're excited about the opening because this is an opportunity to assist more families.
The program, also known as Section 8, helps people cover a portion of their rent so they can afford a place to live. Only 5,000 slots are available on the rental assistance wait list. People are chosen through a lottery, and those who applied Monday pray luck is on their side.
Sit at home every day and be scared that my stuff gonna be out in the street.
She sits at home every day. That means she doesn't work.
Because I don't have the income to apply.
The math to solve the affordable housing crisis isn't adding up right now. An October report from the state's top...
The math ain't mathing, as the blacks like to say. Well, say that one more time, lady. The math ain't mathing.
Financial housing crisis isn't adding up right now.
Income to apply.
The math to solve the affordable housing crisis isn't adding up right now. An October report from the state's top financial officer found most people can't afford what's on the market right now. The median rent in Maryland is $1,721, which is above the national average. The state itself needs more affordable options, but also more housing, period. The report found Maryland is short about 100,000 housing units and needs close to 600,000 more in the next 20 years to keep up with growth.
I think we're going to see a lot of individuals from a lot of different backgrounds apply.
Lauren Busher is the co-chair of Prince George's County Housing Justice Coalition. Busher says the voucher program typically accepts people who are considered very low income, making $57,000 a year or less. She says this is a start in helping some people, but it's clear when the application process closes.
Did you see that lady right there? Jeez, look at these people. Look at these people can't afford to live in this area. It's too expensive, and no one's going to hire these people. they will forever be on the government until it's all over.
The start in helping some people, but it's clear when the application process
Look at this
closes,
woman.
the
You see
county
that?
will need
This is the woman I want to show you. Like, look at this woman.
helping some people, but it's
Look at
clear
this one. Look at that one. Look at this. Look at that one. Look at this
people,
one. Look at this one. Look at these big, dumb, stupid looking glasses on.
but
Then you
it's
see this
clear
one right
when
here. Look at this one. I mean, she got a bunion on her head. Designer bunion, no less. I think that's Fendi. She's just leather jacket. You know, these people are very fashionable, trendy. Even while they're begging for housing, these are some very interesting people, I say that.
the application process closes, the county will need to look at other options.
More assistance programs come into play. We'd like to see a little bit more scrutiny, stricter scrutiny over rental prices.
The application portal closes Friday.
Scrutiny on rental prices.
And as a reminder, you have to complete.
There's always a solution. Scrutiny on rental prices, but they can't get to the point of asking themselves the question, well, and no one really wants to rent to these people. That is the bigger thing. You got to really induce landlords like myself by paying the landlords super Section 8 payment rates. That's how that works.
Hello on this frigid Monday morning. I'm here in Prince George's County because we have some big news here. The Housing Choice Voucher Program is accepting applications again for the first time in 10 years. Now, this is specifically for the wait list. The Housing Authority says the reason it's taken so long is because they have to exhaust the current wait list to reopen it to new applicants. And in 2015,
So this is for the people that were on the wait list.
they said they had an overabundance of applicants. So what this means is today through Friday, if you want to apply for this rental assistance, also known as Section 8, that means that you have to go online and submit that application. Now, you can do that at any libraries, like where I am, if you need access to a public computer. There will be some that have some aids available if you need some help. This program will allow you to pay 30% of your income toward rent, and then the county would cover the rest.
That's the only way these people are able to stay here. And in many cases, again, I've had tenants that merely pay $1. Literally $1.
Once the application window closes, then all of those names will go into a lottery system, which will select 5,000 names randomly to be on the new wait list, and then the county will choose from that to begin to dole out some of those
If you think that number's going to be random, they're going to select these people in random, please. It's not how it works.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
We just got some new numbers from Prince George's County about how many people have applied for rental assistance. So in the first 2 days, just 2 days, nearly 30,000 people have filled out applications for the Housing Choice Voucher Program.
So many of our neighbors in this program really just started accepting applications for the first time in a decade. So we've been following this story very closely for weeks, knowing how many of our neighbors are relying on this to help with affording a home. Our Randy Hildreth joins us now live tonight from Oxon Hill. And Randy, we know you've spent the day looking into other places people can turn to get some help.
Yeah, good evening to you both. That number is staggering. And the unfortunate part of all of this is that clearly there will be people who really need help paying their rent who won't make the voucher wait list. Unfortunately, there are just so many slots available, and it far exceeds the number of people who need help based on the number of people who can make that list. And so, as you mentioned, I spoke with agencies across Prince George's County today about what else is available for people right now. Janisha Page braved the cold and rain Tuesday for one reason.
I'm just trying to find a stable place for me and my two daughters.
She's one of nearly 30,000 people who signed up for Prince George's County Housing Voucher Program, which helps people pay their rent. Only 5,000 people are selected through a lottery to go on a wait list for assistance, and Paige hopes she's one of them.
Tense, a little anxious. I want to be picked. I want to make a better life for my kids.
Would you rent to this woman? Here you look at her, she walk up to you, she got all these children, and she probably got 2 or 3 men that come along with them, and so you're renting to the whole package.
Let's do that.
With so many applications, she's already considering...
Look at them nails. Oh man, look at the tattoos, the nails, the watches on these low IQ blacks coming up to your house, asking you to rent to them. And this is the filth, the trash that you have to dig through when you're dealing with Section 8. Low IQ trash, trashy people who spend their money on As you can see, the gewgaws of life, rings, watches, tattoos, and then they turn around and come to you and they want subsidized housing.
Bring backup plans if she's not chosen.
Stay with my family until I still get on my feet and do.
Why not stay with your family until you can afford your own rent instead of the government help you pay your rent? See, that's one of the bigger problems. And one of the things I've talked about is that the blacks nowadays don't even have to depend on their families. There's a government to come in and feed them. There's a government that will come in and house them. There's a government that will, if they have a problem with their significant other, the government will come in and try to solve those issues for them, domestic violence cases. So the blacks don't even have to use their mind today. They just call the government, and the government has a solution for almost every one of their problems. And you hear this very clearly. This is one of the biggest problems in the black community, in my opinion. Aside from the conspicuous consumption, you see the nails, you see the tattoos, you see the watch, and I'll zoom in on that just to make sure you can see that. For those of you watching on your phone, this is what you're seeing, the conspicuous consumption of a woman who says that she cannot afford her rent. When she has her rent on one arm, one hand, she has enough money that she's probably paid, that would probably be her portion, her contribution to her rent on her hand. That watch looks to be an Apple Watch or something, probably a couple $100. Tattoo, a couple $100. The nails, probably a couple $100 on both hands. And what we're talking about here is that is likely her contribution on a monthly basis. She'll probably pay $300-400 a month at most. And clearly you see where the rest of her money is going.
Be considering backup plans if she's not chosen.
Stay with my family until I still get on my.
She stay with her family. And these people, they have such tenuous relationship with their families that they're trying their best to get away from their family instead of strengthening the relationship or either forging a relationship there. And so these people, they say, hey, Mr. Government, get me away, help me get away from my family and give me a voucher so I can get away from my family so I can leave my kids by themselves. See, there would be someone to be at home. Maybe she's with her family. She could leave her kids, go off to work, something like that. But once she gets to the apartment, she has a kid solely by herself. How can she work? She's further saddled into poverty there. And the other issue is that with her staying with her family, there should be some kind of collective benefit for all of them. But the government is bailing her out of solving her own problems by giving her a house, giving her a place to live, getting her out of her family's house where she's currently living. She's not homeless. They didn't mention that she's in a homeless shelter or anything like that. But the government's going to bail her out, give her a place to live for no other reason than she signed her name on a list. And that's how that works.
My feet and do what I gotta do.
For many, the question is what to do if they don't make the list. I spent Tuesday making calls.
We're a 52-year-old organization, and we've been involved with housing almost throughout our 52-year existence.
Jimmy L. Slade is the executive director of the Community Ministry of Prince.
And I bet you in his 52 years, the problem has gotten worse. So what has he been doing the last 52 years?
Georges County. His organization offers some rental assistance funding, but also helps families cover other expenses to free up their budget.
Encourage people to try to use some of these resources for their food and save their cash money to try to pay their rent.
Laurel Advocacy and Referral Services is another option, offering rent, mortgage, and utilities assistance along with grocery help. Executive Director Shannon Mouton says people should not give up.
To those who are applying, please do apply. Get your name in the process.
Right. She's saying, get out of your mama's house, move away from your family, and take your low IQ on the road on your own.
That is the only way that you can get ahead. DC Lottery said it right. You got to play to win.
It's the only way you can get ahead. DC Lottery said it right. You got to play to win. This is the mindset of these people. Life is just one big lottery. You don't have any input in winning or losing. It's just a lottery. You got to play to win. And it's the only way you're going to win.
That you can get ahead. DC Lottery said it right. You got to play to win. Reach out. If we can't help you, we can put you in contact with folks who can.
Again, the application process for the voucher program closes
Friday. And if you're watching this story and definitely need some help, we have a full list of, one, how you can apply for the voucher program, but then also some of the other resources available for you going on the website.
These people really have no shame. And here's the thing. I was talking to a dumb black guy earlier today, or yesterday. It was yesterday. And, again, this really shows you their dependence on the government. So the dumb black, he says, I'm going in the military. I'm like, you're 30 years old. You about to go into what? In the military? And so here's a guy that's failed out here in the real world. And it used to be back in the day, and I was telling a friend of mine, back in the day, these blacks would go back to school. That is the cocoon of the government, where the government pays for them to more or less arrest their development, delayed development. But this guy, he decided to go into the military at 30, and I found that interesting because we had a panelist up here a while back, is CKJ3. He says he suggested to another 30-year-old guy he should go into the military, 33-year-old guy. And so here we have a 30-year-old man going into the military, and on his own, that wouldn't be so bad. It wouldn't be so bad. But when you listen to this phone call of the black man, you realize that there's no way that he can go into the military and be able to take orders. He's developed a lot of bad traits, and they've gotten hardened over the years. And I don't see how he can go into the military and take orders from someone without some kind of problems there. For those of you that have been listening to me for a while, you've probably heard the conversation that I've had about the geez, what was I going to tell you? About the black man. Oh yeah, about the black domestic violence case. It was a very similar case. This is a black man that wanted to go into, again, the government cocoon of being a police officer. He was in his 30s or late 20s. He had graduated from college, had a master's degree, couldn't make it out here in the regular world. He graduated from like Georgetown, GW. So he wanted to be a police officer. So he was taking his 30-year-old, hardened self, with all of his bad traits and habits. He'd taken those. He said, well, I'm going to be a police officer at 30. It didn't work out. He ended up having a domestic violence incident, and that was the issue there for him. And so these kind of people, they are not disciplined enough, and they can't make it out here in the real world, in society. And so they end up going back towards some government cocoon, be it school, a government job, military, police, or just a regular government. And this is what they revert to. So I found it very interesting. I even titled it McNamara's Morons, and that these very low IQ people are attempting to get back in the cocoon of the government, and because they have no skills outside of the government, into the mainstream, regular America, private sector. They hold so little value that they have to go back to the government. Now, white people not paying like that?
Yeah, man. So.
And they gave you a reason why they're not paying you?
I'm saying, yeah. I just told you the person that was dealing with the counter, they left for the holiday early before they submitted our paperwork. That's bullshit. And so they thought it was automated. Yeah, exactly.
This is a small company or something?
Yeah, it's like 500 people. Mid to small.
That's a big company.
Yeah, it's mid to small. Like we've got about 14 leagues, 14 leagues, and they do events.
What is it, soccer or something?
They do all of that: soccer, basketball, volleyball, football.
And none of these people are getting paid? That's fucking crazy as hell.
Very. Yeah, so I'm saying we getting paid by check now. So they mail another check, and then our regular check comes on Fridays. I get paid every other Friday.
So they're gonna be paying you by check?
Yeah, they pay me for that check we didn't get from the holiday. They're paying by the check, and then our regular checks are still direct deposit. We back on schedule for everything else. Everybody's back from the holiday.
So when are you supposed to be receiving this check?
Within 3 to 5 business days. They sent that joint out today. They just all got back to the office today. The checks should be in within like the regular post office time, And then my regular direct deposit comes this Friday. My scheduled direct deposit is this Friday.
So how you eating and surviving with no damn check?
That's why I've been calling you from another number. I just paid my phone bill. my family helped me with the phone bill like I wasn't.
You should have had your family help you with the rent.
I'm on the phone right now. So like, that's why I was like, I understand if you're like, yo, it's Monday, I need you out. It's like, damn, okay, I would request until this weekend. But if you can give me till Friday, if Friday I don't have it, I understand. Now, but by Friday is when I'm expecting to have everything back on track.
Now you know what's interesting from just listening to you. When you didn't pay your phone bill, they cut that shit off immediately.
No, they don't. You got a 3 day. You get a 3 day. Okay. You get a 3 day grace period with Metro PCS.
Okay, so they gave you 3 days.
They gave me a 3 day grace period, right? And then
but you want more than 3 days from me. Hold on. You want more than 3 days.
That's what I'm saying. Listen to the other number. That's why I called you from the other number. That 202-717. That's me. You were talking to me. So when my phone was off, I was using that, and I can only use that around Wi-Fi.
But I'm just pointing out though. You know, I don't know if you.
Yeah. So right? When my phone was off, I was calling you from that. So you're like, I'm calling you.
I got all that.
You're calling the wrong number.
Yeah, I got all that. But I guess what I'm telling you is that like when Metro PCS don't get their payment, you said 3 days they cut you off, right? 3 days.
They give you 3 days. They give you a grace period.
Whatever it is, right. But at some point they cut you off, and you say it's 3 days, right?
Yeah.
But with me, you expect me to give you more than 3 days. What's the difference between me and Metro PCS? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's where the tenant laws come in. So if you're like, okay, this is my notice to vacate, that's 30 days, and I'm not trying. I don't want to take up 30 days. You know, and that's what a lot of the people who bullshit, and that's what they'll do so they can stay for free. I'm not doing it. I'm letting you know upfront. I don't want to do that. So if you were like 2 days,
let me ask you
this is the notice to vacate. I was like, okay, can I get till Friday?
The only reason I'm talking to you because you seem like you're fairly young and got halfway decent sense. Most of these blacks don't have any sense.
Yeah, that's the
only reason I'm talking to you, right? Honestly, that's the only reason I'm talking to you. That I'm even willing to entertain this conversation because I wanted to explain something to you from the different point of view. And a lot of you blacks don't look at the world this way. And I want to try to explain because no one probably has ever told you this. You understand, right? And you sound like, how old are you?
You're 30.
You 30? 30 even? Okay, so clearly no one has ever told you this before. But like, if you don't want to hear it, I can, we can just hang up and just go from here. But what I'm telling you is, a lot of the blacks, and I deal with a lot of blacks, right? All my life I dealt with blacks, and one of the things I deal with blacks, and they always talk about what the law said, right? That's what you did. But what you?
Why you look at that? I want to make that very clear.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I deal with all cultures. So,
well, I'm telling you about blacks. I deal with
everybody who knows their laws.
But I deal with all cultures too. I'm sitting here with a guy. He understands that we deal with all kind of people. But I'm telling you in particular for the blacks, right? And you're black. I'm assuming, correct?
Yes.
Right. And so you came to me and you like, but the law said this, but the law said that. But you haven't even been able to uphold your end of the obligation, correct?
Correct. So
that's
yeah,
correct.
we
That's
don't.
correct.
So
That's correct. It's correct. But hold on. See,
I don't want you to go through that.
See, as a young man, again, I'm trying to give you some advice. You talk a lot. You don't listen. I let you talk. You tell me all about your job and everything. But what I'm telling you is, like, you talk all about the law and what the law says I should do, but you didn't send me anything about your obligation. The law says this. The law says that. But you're
that's what I texted what I was doing mine.
But you
see,
now you're talking
what they expect to have. But I don't want to make a conversation about blacks. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this conversation.
The only reason I'm telling you is like I feel like I'm doing you a favor. I cannot tell you if I could just let you go back off into the world talking like this. You know, it's up to you. It don't matter. I can hang up the phone. No big deal. But I'm telling you this is some advice to you. No one wants to deal with a litigious person. Blacks, by and large, are considered very litigious people. That's why it's so hard for blacks to find places to rent. Because who the hell wants to deal with somebody, anything go wrong, the first thing they talking about is what the law said, what the government said, right? But you ain't even in line with your obligation. It would be one thing if your rent was paid up, up to date, and then you say, well, but the law said this about something you're not doing, but you're behind, right? So you got every incentive to try to work with me because I'm assuming you have nowhere else to go because you don't have any money because you say your job is not paying. And so it's the wrong way of going about things. I'm trying to explain this to you, right? And then I'm gonna tell you something else. And again, I don't know if you're not thinking or maybe you just didn't think about it. But you telling me about other bills that you paid, but your most important bill, because you don't want to live outside because it's cold out there, right? But you're telling me about all the other bills that you pay, your Sprint, Metro, PCS, and all that stuff. I'm just telling you, as one black to another black, right? Because you're not going to get this message from anybody else. The Indians, the Arabs, the white people probably aren't going to tell you because they'd be afraid to be called racist, to be honest with you. And so what I'm telling you is, you got to get your priorities in order. Like, you telling me you got your phone on, but you don't pay your rent, and it's cold outside. Shit, I'd rather be without my phone than be outside in the cold.
No question.
Right? When you, right? You rather be inside with
and that's where the law comes in, and I need my phone for work.
But
I couldn't work without my phone.
And see, now I'm back
You know
to
I'm just giving you concept.
But see, now I'm back.
I like the way you said, I assume. I like how you said that, yes.
But see, now,
so
right,
I just want to give you the proper information. So we're both on the same page.
Right, I guess
because I do want to work with you, and I thank you for working with me.
Right, and I guess
so I don't want to work with assumptions.
And I guess
I want to make sure we're on the same page and how this has to work.
So now you're talking a lot and you're not listening. And I guess what I just told you didn't sink in because, again, I say, you coming to me, you in the hole. You owe me money. I don't owe you anything, right? You talking about the law, but that's extraneous to me and you. And see, here's the thing I'm trying to explain to you. A lot of young blacks, their mind is on the government. The government solves all their problems. You're not even thinking about solving the solution without involving the government. Do you think I want to deal with... Hold on.
Can it work out a deal?
You over talking me, and I'm trying to give you advice. As soon as you mention the government, I don't want to work out with you. I don't want to work no fucking deal with you, right? What the fuck I want to deal with a nigga that goes down to the government or even threaten me with the government? See, I took that as a threat. You understand? I'm just telling you from man to man, because you probably never been told this before. But when you even mention the government to me while owing me money, that's a threat to me. It's an implied threat. You understand that? You probably never been told that before. But
I haven't been told that.
But you threatened me.
Nah, I think we all on the same page.
Listen, you're not listening to me. I'm telling you how
I hear you. I definitely hear you. I apologize if you feel that.
I'm telling you how I took it. And see, a lot of you blacks, right? And I talk very blunt. I don't mince my words. A lot of you blacks, like, you can't work out your own solutions, and so your first mind is to go to the government. But you mention the government with certain people like me, that's like a threat. You understand? Right? It's like a threat. Ain't it like a threat? It's like a threat to me, ain't it? It's like a threat to me. And so I'm just telling you, right? It's gentlemanly advice, because I'm an older man than you. You say you're 30. You should not use those words. You should try to find solution between you and the person that you owe money to, right? And not involve a third party, because the third party like bringing in your big brother. And then that's like a threat to me. You understand?
Okay.
I understand.
So appreciate
nobody
that.
You may live another 50 years and no one else will tell you this. That's very true. You understand?
Yeah, it's man talk. And you from here? You from DC?
I'm from Alabama.
Alabama copy. Yeah, that's man talk.
But look, so you this phone on right now?
Yeah, we're good now.
All right, I'm gonna give you a call back. I gotta call these people, let them know what you're saying, and I'll call you back.
Yes, sir.
You should just throw him out and be done with it.
But see, I can tell that he's halfway. You're able to halfway talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part is that, like, it's that black mind.
He young.
Right? I don't give a fuck. He's 30 years old. He should have it by now. It's that black mind that, again, I'm gonna go straight to the government. Nigga, you owe me money. In reality, I should be going to the government on you.
Exactly.
But I don't fuck with the government. You understand? I go straight to you, right?
The source.
Right. But he want to involve a middleman. That's the black mindset. Because the government is like their baby.
You want to protect them.
Right, it's their protector. You know what I'm saying?
Shield.
Yeah. It's like a shield. But who wants to deal with somebody who ain't gonna fight you man to man, they're gonna bring you in the government? Who wants to deal with someone like that?
Oh, my bottles for straight up.
No, nobody wants to deal with some stupid ass black person that as soon as you have a disagreement with him, he gonna get some bigger buddy to fight for him, the government. Nobody, you just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with you no more, bro. Like, you just going about your business, bro, and just leave me the hell alone. I don't want to deal with blacks like that. And this is how they instinctively react. They go to the government. It's his problem. Again, I should be going to the government on him, but he's going to the government on me.
You should say something like...
These fucking blacks are stupid as hell, man.
Something like... Nah.
And so before I sign off today, I'll leave you with this clip that I saw yesterday. It was from another streamer, and I think it really gets to the mindset and the low IQ of blacks. Blacks are now wearing quarter zips, if you're familiar with that. And so we have an early adopter, a 50-year-old man, more or less, who has adopted the YN new trend of quarter zips. So I want you to listen to what he has to say. This is the 50-year-old YN, the Jim Jones of YouTube. The Jim Jones of YouTube. And
I can wear a different button-up shirt every day for 3 months if I wanted to. Probably with a different hat and almost with a different pair of glasses every single day if that's what I wanted to do. I do it because I can. I can wear a different button-up shirt every day for 3 months if I wanted to. Probably with a different hat and almost with a different pair of glasses every single day if that's what I wanted to do. I do it because I can.